This episode of Express Training Bites is brought to you by PageFlip. Not going to in-person trade shows this year and still need to get your catalogs out to those distributors? Upload your digital catalog to Promo Corner's PageFlip. Contact sales at promocorner.com. This is Express Training Bites. I am Brandon Petrich, and we have a phenomenal guest here today. We have Brian Duran. He is from MediaTree, and he's going to be speaking. We're going to have like a nice little conversation about digital rewards in the promo industry. So, Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's a nice sunny day. It's been very cloudy over here in Jersey, so I'm enjoying my space with my plants here.
I was going to say, I always, we've had a meeting before, and I definitely took a screenshot and sent it to my girlfriend. She was like, oh, I like that man with the plants. So I know she's going to be tuning in today too. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Express Training Bites Live. If you do have a question on digital rewards as we start to go through this, go ahead and put it into the comment section right over there on the side, and I'll make sure and ask Brian here at the end, but we're going to get right into it. So Brian, I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there watching right now and have no idea what a digital reward is. Can you kind of give us the skinny on it?
Yeah. I mean, I always say we're kind of the black sheep in the industry because our product is completely online. But a digital reward is simply a product that would be used online. We have things like digital magazines, digital movies, even gift cards that can be used online. So there's two kind of delivery methods there. One can be a physical card, one could be an email. But either way, it's going to be the same concept. Someone's going to receive a code. They're going to type that code in on the website, and they're going to be able to choose their reward. So say it's a digital movie, they're going to be able to unlock 100,000 different movies and select what movie they want to rent. Say it's a gift card, we have something called the Total Choice gift card, which is kind of like a gift card for gift cards. Once someone uses that gift card, they can choose their own. So that code's going to unlock over 200 different options. So it's a great thing for the client, because now they don't have to decide, like, should I only get this type of gift card? What if my employees don't like it, or if my customers don't like it? Yep. They can use this like kind of generic one where someone can choose what they want on their own. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about it for me is that, say someone gets $50, you don't have to spend it all in one place. You know, I've gotten like $50 before, and I'm like, oh, I can only use this Target. So this way you can send someone a $50 gift card and they can split it up. We were actually just talking about coffee before, so you can do like $15 at Starbucks. You can do $25 at Walmart and spend the rest, wherever you'd like.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I think that's really cool. And we think in the promo industry, we always think in terms of, actually giving promo, like a tumbler, a coffee mug, or the actual physical product. But this is more on the digital side. So it kind of helps out with that sales process. Speaking of that, how can these digital rewards like work in the virtual selling market that we're in right now?
So I think it kind of works in two ways. I mean, one being like, your client is going to be drawn to it. They're going to run into all these logistical problems. Everyone's working from home and things like that. So the digital aspect is solving all the shipping issues that you're running into. They're going to save money on shipping. They're not going to have to worry about, you're getting this from China, it's got to get drop shipped over here, over there. The way we do this mainly is via email. So we're going to get a list of emails. We're going to be able to send these things out. There's a lot of attractive products, just like I was just saying. We have about 200 different options for gift cards, and they're all big retailers. So when your client sees this, they're going to be attracted to all this. It's not like a random mom and pop shop. Like, someone's going to be able to redeem at Amazon and things like that.
Yeah.
And then like kind of a second side to this too. It's an interesting thing to use in your own sales process. Like, I don't know how familiar you guys are. I'm talking kind of rhetorically here. But I don't know how familiar you guys are with sales sequences, but using a sales sequence is a good way to reach out to your clients. Whether you have 10 clients or 1,000, you want to kind of have a plan. You want to be like, I'm going to email at this time, I'm going to call at this time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. So plugging in a digital reward is a really easy way to do like a self promo that's branded. Also introduce a new product that you have in your line, and it's a good reason to follow up. Like, you might email somebody and then call them 2 days later, and then it's almost awkward to like try to follow up with them because they've just ignored you for a week or so. So you can kind of give them a gift while you're doing this. Say you wanted to do a digital magazine, a week later, you could be like, hey, I want to show you this new product. Here's a digital magazine. Here's a sample of it. Maybe you give them a live one where they can use it. I personally like the digital magazine a lot. I call it like our digital lollipop. Like, when you go into the bank and they're just handing out lollipops, they can do that because it's cheap, but you're going to remember, hey, I like that bank. They had lollipops. So there's that branding aspect to it. Digital magazines are pretty low cost. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm like scrolling through my phone and I'm just like, clickbait. I click on something and I'm like, I'm going to read this article. And then I read a paragraph and they're like, you have to pay for the rest of this. Those are the kind of magazines that are like options in the digital magazines. It's things that would be paid for normally. So you can give them the ability to read some quality content.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think that's really cool. I mean, I saw it work firsthand, right? So I had a meeting with you and we were talking about, doing some digital stuff too. And then instantly when we're done with the meeting, I'm like, man, I'm talking with Amelia, we're having a great time. And all of a sudden, ding, popped up in our email and you sent us a reward. I was like, how cool is that? I just love how the digital lollipop. Yeah. I want to use that bank because they have lollipops. Yeah. That was cool.
I think I said did you use it? I sent you a digital movie.
I haven't used it yet, but I'm absolutely, it's like literally sitting there
Right,
starred. It's one of my
this weekend.
only emails starred. So, and I was kind of out of power last week, so I didn't really get a chance to use it.
Yeah, you're right. Texas had a rough one.
We did. So let's I think that's awesome. I think those are two great ways that this can be used. It is a personalized gift, right? So you're not trying to come up with the product that's going to fit everyone. You're giving the digital reward where everyone gets to choose their own promo. The custom printing, if you're actually doing a physical card instead of a digital card, which I think is awesome. And then the size, because it is smaller, like you said, the whole shipping and logistics and making sure it's the right address and all of that. So those are just some of the problems that it solves. But what are other problems that the digital rewards will solve versus the traditional promo?
So one thing I want to mention before I answer that question is there's a lot of customization there and there's a lot of branding and messaging that you can throw in. So if you are doing an email, now you're not just like, say it's a mug or something like that and it just has your logo on it. Your email actually has messaging in there. So if you want any information to go out, say it's for your customers and you're like, hey, we're running this promotion, or if you sign up now, you get to do this or that. You have a lot of ways of doing it that way. We've seen those happen in a lot of like big insurance companies will try to incentivize signups or like re-signups. So they'll do a $5 gift card or something like that. So there's a whole marketing behind it. They might advertise like, all right, your subscription is going to be up in a month. If you sign up now, you get this additional $15 or something like that. So that messaging can happen from our end as well. So when we deliver that $15, we're like, hey, thanks for being loyal to our brand, blah, blah, blah. It's all on the client on how they want that to be put together.
Oh,
so I mean, that's kind of like a little bit of a solve. I think the biggest thing is really solving the logistics. I mean, everyone's working from home. So employee appreciation day is around the corner, right?
Yep.
So people are trying to figure out how you get gifts to everyone. It gets costly when you're doing shipping, if you're shipping FedEx and it's $8 a pop and it's all over the country and whatever it may be. So instead of spending money on the shipping, you can just use that towards the gift. You have a higher value gift, the employees feel way more appreciated. And the turnaround time is much quicker. Our inventory is unlimited. I can get you 1 million gift cards tomorrow if you really wanted. So it helps out when you have a big audience. Say you have 80,000 employees. It gets really costly and kind of a headache to get physical products to all of those people. Where in our side, we set these things up in 3 days. You have custom messaging, custom branding. It really kind of solves a lot of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you work for MediaTree, and so obviously this is why you're so well versed in what a digital reward is. But do you have any case studies of like some major success stories where you've seen this really take off and do really well?
Yeah. So last year compared to 2019, our sales grew 150%, which is kind of unlikely in the promotional product industry right now. But it's because a lot of people moved on to digital. So we saw a lot of case studies last year that were like new to us that we've never seen before, and even kind of more traditional ones. One being similar to what we were just talking about before about after our meeting, I sent you a reward. People are still putting on, digital conventions, digital like, even promo shop. You guys have your digital show, your virtual shows and things like that. And could be challenging to get gifts to everyone. Like one thing that these shows always had, you always walked away with a bunch of swag. You're at the convention in Vegas and you're just like, now you have a bag full of stuff. that whole thing's kind of missing. So it's really easy to, after a virtual event like this, pull a list of everyone who attended and then send them a gift literally that day. And now you have another touch point of being like, thank you so much for being here. So we saw a lot of success in that. The holidays were huge. We just got jam packed with work. And even if it was like physical stuff, we were still able to ship things to people's houses for much cheaper because it is just a single card. And, you know, we can put a greeting card on there and have a whole message and a whole experience, and we can ship it via USPS. And we have some trackability there that you're not going to get. You know, if you don't want to do the $8 at FedEx, we can still track things via USPS. We know if someone received something or not that way. So if someone has any sort of issues or anything like that, we can replace it with a digital reward if they didn't, you know, if they didn't get their physical item.
I love that.
And then one other case study I was thinking about too. I mean, I kind of touched upon it before about the account signups, but that was also pretty huge for us because a lot of brands were worried about losing, you know, their customer base. So whether it was an insurance company, you know, companies like AAA and things like that, companies who rely on a big client base who are going to pay yearly subscriptions and things like that, they had to figure out ways to keep people on board who were people, you know, a lot of people were downsizing. I even did it like at some point last year. I was like, all right, I'll only go through my bank statement and get rid of a bunch of subscriptions I don't even know about. We saw a lot of brands kind of figure out ways to try to incentivize people to stay. And digital rewards were a perfect way. It was low cost for them. We've seen people do it for paperless billing, where they're trying to incentivize people to move into paperless billing instead of doing paper billing. It saves them a whole lot of money on printing statements and invoices and shipping things. So they're like, oh, if I can just send you a digital statement, I'll just give you this like $25 reward and you'll stay paperless. And now that company can save a whole bunch of money on that aspect. There's a lot of use cases.
I didn't even think about that. You've said it a bunch of times, and I think it just clicked with me. And I'm sure it's probably just clicking with our audience too. But the incentive side of it, this isn't just a promo to market yourself as a self promo for a distributor or any of that in the sales cycle, but this is also an incentive to kind of help your company save money too.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of clients do it that way. And like, you know, I always joke, I'm like, people are like, well, who should I target? Like, what's the target audience here? Like, who really buys these things? And I'm like, honestly, the more boring, the better. Like, a lot of times people are like, oh, this tech company, they're going to love media training. It's like, no, they have most of their stuff figured out. They're tech savvy. It's those big, bulky companies who've just been around for a long time, big financial institutions that are like all over the map, and like their communication takes a long time between each other. We solve a lot of their logistical problems. So instead of them trying to figure out like, how do we reach all of our customers? We're like, oh, well, we have the system. Like, just tell us what you want to do. We'll message it and customize it how you want. And we handle the rest, which is kind of, I think, a little bit unique in the promotional product industry because we are very hands-on. A lot of times my customers are just like, wait, so like, I just sent you 2 emails and things are ready to go. And I'm like, yeah, that's all I need. Like, fill this one form. I'll take care of the rest. I'll send you a proof and you tell me what you need and tell me what your client thinks.
Don't have to worry about having a loading dock or making sure you got a dolly or anything like that.
Yeah,
no,
they're like,
emails,
wait, I don't have
good.
to call FedEx. I'm like, no, it's fine. I got it. It's all on us.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good aspect too, right? I mean, that was one of the biggest worries when you started shipping to home. It was like, okay, do you have the supplier? Do I supply the supplier with all of my end user, you know, home addresses, or do I bring it into my office and then hire 3 of my friends with a 12-pack of beer and try and kit all this stuff? I mean, it totally removes all of that. That's awesome. That's really cool. So the last thing I kind of want you to, just so that people can kind of get another idea and kind of a bigger scope as to what this is. What are the different types of digital rewards? You mentioned them a little bit at the beginning, but we've got more people watching now. What are some things that people are getting?
So some of our typical digital rewards are digital magazines. That just lets someone read a magazine, whether it's on their tablet or computer or phone. We have digital movies. There's over 100,000 movie selections they can choose from. It's through Fandango now. So a lot of the movies, since movie theaters are still closed, that are getting released there. So it's a nice refresher. You're not like, it's not the same old on like Netflix and Hulu and all that jazz. It's all like mainly brand new movies and even a lot older movies that they don't have rights to and things like that. We have some donation, like socially good type of products. Tree cycler, gift of giving. Gift of giving is personally one of my favorites. It lets the end recipient choose a donation of their choice, and they can pick what they're exactly doing with that. So it's not just like, oh, you donated $5 to the Red Cross. It's like, no, with your donation, we cleaned up 2 acres of the ocean, or with your donation, we were able to feed um, kittens and puppies at a shelter for 2 weeks. You know, it's things like that. We even have one that lets you help purchase building building materials for third world countries where you're going to build out and things like that. Tree Cycler also kind of fits into that. Tree Cycler, we started probably in 2012, and we've planted a lot of trees doing it. And we've noticed a lot of like major big companies end up doing it during like Arbor Day and things like that, and Earth Day. But it lets the end recipient, it's a pretty hands-on experience. The end recipient can choose on a map where we're going to plant a tree. So you have like a full experience. You can see like, all right, I want to plant a tree in this location. You can kind of see a tracker of how many trees are planted, how close we are to a goal, things like that. And then, you know, our big one is gift cards, which we kind of touched upon before. It's a gift card for gift cards, really. We call it the total choice gift card. And the end recipient can choose what that gift card is for. We also do a little bit of a combo gift where you can do a gift card along with a digital movie rental. So we kind of theme out gift cards. So if you have a client who's like, you know, maybe in the healthcare industry and they're like, I don't want fast food, we can tweak the storefront so we can make it however your client wants. So we did this with a few different themes. We have like Treat Yourself, which is a homage to Parks and Rec, where it lets people kind of treat, you know, get like a little treat, whatever they want. So for the combo one I was just talking about, we do a food delivery one. So we have like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and we picked out 50 restaurants that are like national chain ones that we know are delivering. And then you can pair that with a digital movie rental, which is a unique experience where you have a whole night experience at home. You can, if you give that to your employees or like, you know, your customers, it's completely socially distanced because you're getting to eat at home because you're getting food delivered, and you get to watch a movie at home. You don't have to leave the comfort of your house. So it's I think that's a good product. I think that was really popular last year. People really got drawn to it.
I can see that. Oh man, that donation aspect that sparked a couple of comments here. Everybody's loving that. That's really, you know, we sit there and we think about promo, right? And we're trying to do social good promo. We're trying to make sure that, you know, we're not just creating, you know, more trash for the landfill. And you guys literally have a solution to where it can go immediately to good. I think that's so cool.
And if you go the digital route, the email route, now it's completely eco-friendly. You're not producing a product. There's no plastic involved, no carbon emissions, anything like that. We're just sending it out to space and it's getting sent out to someone's house. That's how emails work, right? It just goes in the space. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know the logistics, but you know, it's completely carbon neutral there, you know.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
those programs are good. We're really expanding on those. We're kind of working on something where you can do a gift and give. So it's not just them donating. Maybe they can still select a gift. So if you want to do a $50 gift, it could be $25 that the recipient can use, you know, at Amazon or something like that. But then they can donate the other 25.
Oh, awesome. That is awesome. I love that. I love that type of stuff. I mean, because that's the hardest part about promo, right? Is we sit there and we look at all of the stuff that's just got logos on it. And you're like, I mean, I use it because I've been in the industry for so long, but then I think about the billions of products that are going out there that probably go unused. And it's like, I mean, but now you have a way. And I think our industry, now with 2020 being done and we're focusing on getting out of it, we're refocusing again back on to where we were going before, which is the economy and making sure that the environment, and making sure that we're doing it the correct way, which is awesome. So kudos to you guys for stepping that up. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't expect anything less from a guy that is literally sitting in a room full of plants.
Yeah, this is why I'm excited about the trees.
That's awesome. Well, that is about our time, man. So real quick, can you let everybody know how they can get a hold of you if they have more questions on this type of stuff?
Yeah, you can find me on ESP, Common Skew, Promo Corner. kind of anywhere. If you go to mediatreerewards.com, that's our website that has everything on there, all of our contact information as well. But yeah, I mean, I think those are all the ways. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't know. You can
Perfect.
send me a message on Instagram. It's I'm accessible.
So that you heard it here first, folks. Slide into his DMs. He's ready. Brian, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Guys, that has been Express Training Bites. We will see you next Thursday.